Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Feng. Have you ever struggled with balancing speed and value? When it's too greedy, or when it's too, I call it lack of ambition. Many of us who learn Richie Mahjong, and especially once we hit intermediate level, we tend to focus a lot of efficiency. But at the same time, have you wondered why do some pro players always keep winning Mangan so easily? Isn't top efficiency the most important thing in modern Mahjong? It's partially true, but I would like to show you how do you balance value and speed without losing a lot of speed, yet you have the chance of doubling or tripling your hand value. Let's take a look at this hand. We have 5 blocks. Okay, most players are going to throw pei here. Going for speed, trying to get Menzen to replace your pair 5M, or moving towards a Mentanping kind of hand. Instead of blindly chasing after tile efficiency after you have 5 blocks, consider using the extra tiles you have in your hand as value upgrade. So in this case, we already have 3 blocks of Manzi, 1 block of Chun. If we have the 5th block, we can actually move towards a Honitsu, 1 Dora. And that will give us a Mangan hand. I'm not so worried about the pair 5M because since the Dora is 1S, I'm looking to change Ramen around the 3S instead. Imagine this, once you pair the pei, it will be a very easy Mangan hand compared to trying to make your Mentanpin hand. Even Mentanpin has a 50% fail rate because your Tana will be crushed once you draw 1M. I believe most of you are going to look towards pawning the Chun here to get a minimum 2k hand. Since we are going to pawn the Chun anyway, you must not think of open hand Mangan. Why 6S and not 5P? Because 6S you can potentially set up for a Suji trap later on if you luckily manage to draw Anko 5M and then 1 4M and reach it for a Chun 3S Shampoo weight. There's also consideration of 5S backfire. In Japanese term, it's called Guke follow. In literal translation, it's called bad shape follow up. That means the tile that you backfire, you actually improve one of the bad shape in your hand. So in this case, from a Shampoo 3-3S, if you backfire 5S, you actually improve the shape into 3-3-5S. So after discarding 6S, backfire another 6S, we got a none. Here's a little tricky because we have to think of 5P or none. If we go by the concept just now, we are pushing for Honitsu, then it's easy to discard 5P. We also need to consider the possibility of drawing a Anko Chun. If we draw an Anko Chun, then getting Ramen around 5P become useful because you can actually drop your 5AM. And if you actually discarded 5P here, you are going to tell everyone that you're on Manzi Honitsu. So at the same time, I also do not want to blatantly show everyone that I'm doing a Manzi Honitsu. So cases like this, when you're afraid whether you are overcommitting into a Honitsu or you still want to prioritize a bit of speed and also considering not making your hand too obvious, you can still consider discarding just 1 on a tile. So in actual game, I decided to discard none. After discarding none, I get a Pong 5M from Shimocha. Since I've decided to open the hand, then it's very clear cut that I'm going for Atozuke or Honitsu. So I discarded 5P here. After 5P, we just proceed as usual. And then I get to Chi a 1M. Now, what do you discard? Do you go for a 2k Atozuke hand here? Or try to go for a 8k hand here? If you're going for 8k, that means we are not taking this Tenpai, which is quite dangerous given that we are already in second row. And I think this is the most interesting thing to consider. If you throw pei here, everyone knows that you're doing Manzi Honitsu. Are they going to release the Chun so easily? No, right? If they're ever going to release the Chun, that means they are going to counter attack quite soon. So in this kind of scenario, I expect that we are going to be Tenpai for a long time before we can win. Maybe we might end up with just a Tenpai Nomi. And if finally someone decided to push or like Sakigiri Chun, this kind of thing, after going so much trouble, you only win 2k hand. Since we are already having a Tenpai hand that is so difficult to win, that it will take so long to win, then we might as well take the time to build a bigger hand. Then you might wonder, then why did I choose to keep 3S in the first place? Keeping 3S is very different. If you get to pawn the Chun first before Chi 1M, then your hand is way more easier to win. Like Shampoo on 5M 3S while waiting for a change in Dora Ramen around 3S. Or you can even change to 3-sided weight around the Manzi. So in that scenario, you actually retain a very high chance of winning a decent, speedy 2k or 3.9k hand. But right now, we are in a very terrible, very slow 2k hand. So might as well aim the Mangan. While we are exerting pressure on them, we see whether we can draw the pei in. So next time we draw a Tong, we have already committed, we will discard the pair 3S. Unexpectedly, Toymain has decided to throw Chun here, and it become an easier hand to win because I'll just have to Tanki the pei that was just discarded 2 turns ago. Regardless, this is going to be a very strong weight because 1 out honor is very powerful at second turn. Nobody actually tried to Shibori any players, or rather, it's very rare for any players to start Shiboring and keeping so many safe tiles at the first row. And even if that's it they do, they might throw the head pei here to fold against you. After taking a Tenpai shortly, I managed to Zimo this pei. So I'll say the second part of this hand is quite lucky because we didn't expect the Chun to come out so fast, and we also did not expect to win on the pay so easily. But what matters here is that we took the decisions to go for this Mangan hand. So in summary, instead of blindly chasing after tower efficiency, after you get a 5 block, pay attention to see whether you can still continue to upgrade value in your hand. If you find this video useful, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.